The FIFA World Cup in Brazil is almost at its conclusion, and I was weighing up whether or not to get involved in the debate regarding the quality of play and the fitness of the players. But at the last minute I've decided, yes, let me throw in my 2 cents worth. What I've noticed at the FIFA World Cup is that the acceleration of the players is way under par. And this is as a direct result that most football players have incredibly weak lower back muscles. Why is this important? Well, lower back muscles are the core through which your sprinting acceleration is generated. And what's more, the football players, especially when it comes to your defenders and your strikers, it's your speed that you attain over 5 to 10 meters that's important, not what your time can be over 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers. Yes, sure, your midfielders run up to 10, 12 kilometers in a match. But for your strikers and your defenders, what's vitally important is your speed, top speed, and your acceleration. How fast can you get to top speed? And acceleration is set by the speed that you can attain in the first 5 meters. And which sports have the best 5-meter accelerations in the world? Obviously your sprinters, then you get your bobsledders and your speed skaters. And within those groups, the fastest short-term speed improvement is a direct function by how much they improve their lower back strength. So that's the first point. The second point is that their acceleration is limited by the weakness in their upper bodies. Enhanced upper body strength allows you to be able to sprint faster. For instance, to achieve maximum speed, the torque power in the right leg must be counted by torque power within the left upper body, and vice versa. And what you see amongst the vast number of football players is that upper body strength is severely limited. Yes, you have exceptions to the rule like Iron Robin, Cristiano Ronaldo, Leo Messi, and so on. But the vast number of strikers and the vast number of defenders are sorely lacking when it comes to the upper body strength department. The next point is the plague of injuries that the players seem to be coming down with. And I'm not talking about the shooting for an Oscar type of play acting that we see going on in just about all of the matches, but I'm talking about the more serious injuries. And here I'm not talking about Neymar's fractured lumbar spine injury, but more of your hamstring injuries, hamstring cramps, groin muscle injuries that we're seeing so many players getting. This is also as a direct result of the poor lower back muscle strength, where the leg and groin muscles are needing to overcompensate at high sprinting speeds for the total lack of lower back muscle strength. And then my final point is, over the past 30 years, exercise physiologists in the football field have been working way too much on aerobic work limits and limiting the excess power workouts that the player should be doing. Yes, there's a justification for a certain amount of aerobic work, but surely when you're needing players to be able to sprint at maximum speed over the course of 5 meters, then you need to surely work much more on your explosive power to be able to achieve those sort of sprinting speeds. My final point that I'm weighing in on is as far as the physical conditions in Brazil are concerned. Everybody can remember very clearly, and some more clearly than others, the dramatic way in which Spain crashed out of the World Cup. This I attribute directly to what I call the Kona Effect. And any athlete that's raced either the Ironman in Kona or the Xterra World Championships in Maui will know this effect incredibly well. It's the effect that heat and humidity has on the body, and the way in which athlete bodies on average respond and adapt to the heat and especially the humidity. And we've all seen that the humidity levels in Brazil have been incredibly high. Now, how the Kona Effect works is you arrive at your competition venue And for the first 3 days to the first 4 days, you feel absolutely fine, your strength is 100%. Then, normally on day 5, it just feels like you've been hit by an absolute freight train. All of your energy dissipates into absolute nothing, and what you have is that your strength levels and your perceived strength levels, actually your physical strength levels, dwindle away. You lose effectively about 80 to 90% of your power, 80 to 90% of your aerobic capacity. You just feel absolutely wrecked. And this is without putting in any physical exertion whatsoever. And this kicks in at normally about day 5, and that effect can last for anything between 6 and 8 days. And the reason why I attribute this to the defending champion Spain's demise at the Football World Cup is that in their pre-World Cup conditioning camp, they chose Washington in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, Washington is a far cry from Brazil's type of heat and humidity. So what did the Spanish team do? They flew into Brazil just before the opening ceremony, which put them about 4 or 5 days before their opening match against Holland. What happened? We got to the Holland match, the players had just hit the Kona Effect and all of their strength diminished, and the Dutch team that had been acclimatizing in the humid conditions ran absolute circles around them. What happened in the second match against Chile? Again, the Chileans were adapted to the heat and humidity. The Spanish team was still about a day or two out from being at the end of the Kona Effect, where it feels like suddenly a power switch is switched back on again and you get all your strength back. So the Spain team was still busy getting towards the end of the Kona Effect. The Chile team was well adapted to the heat and humidity. So what happens? The Chileans ran circles around the Spaniards. By the time it got to the final and total inconsequential match against Australia, the Spanish team had gotten to the end of the Kona Effect cycle. They'd gotten their strength back, they were able to run at pace, and they were able to make much more of a game of it. So the choices as far as acclimatization that we could see from the Spanish football team applies to each and every athlete that's looking to go to Kona or to Maui for the first time this year, is that choose your travel dates carefully. Either arrive within 3 to 4 days of the event, or arrive 2 weeks before the event. Making travel arrangements to arrive 5 days to a week before the event is just asking for the Kona Effect to hit you either on race day or a day or two before race day and leave you with absolutely no energy to be able to complete your event. That's my take on the Football World Cup so far. Enjoy the playoff for 3rd and 4th place over the weekend, and the final between Argentina and Germany on Sunday. See you next time. Cheers.